Hi, I'm Bob with Wolf Ridge. Guys, we have been super busy at the factory, so first I want to say thank you for everyone who has chosen Wolf Ridge for your firewood yard. And today I want to show you guys some of the updates and improvements that we have made to the 17VS specifically, but also a few of the other machines here at the factory. As we continue to grow here at Wolf Ridge, our production continues to grow as well, and we've got to make the most out of that production capacity. Recently, we did start a weekend shift, and that's going very well. And we're also looking at the machines to see how we can improve production and how we can make things easier on the guys that are building these things. So this right here is the 17VS with the optional hydraulic oil cooler package, but now you may notice that the oil cooler is black and it is a bolt-on kit. So we've always offered a bolt-on kit after the fact, but now it's going to be bolt-on kit when you order it. So if you order a 17VS with the optional oil cooler package, it will come looking like this. And this helps us streamline things as far as getting frames welded and getting frames to powder coat. We can stack things for storing them better. This is going to apply to the 17VS, the 17VSC, which comes standard with a hydraulic oil cooler. And it will also apply to the HOs that have an optional oil cooler and the SHOs that have a standard oil cooler. There are a couple other things on this vertical splitter specifically, and I'm sure that if you're watching this video and you saw the difference with the oil cooler, you probably see the other thing right now. We've done a lot of testing with the jacks and the jack legs on these machines, and what we found is putting one here in the front and keeping the drop legs in the back makes setting up and going from transport to work mode much easier, quicker process. So we still have our standard drop legs in the back here. We would drop those down, and then we will put upward pressure on this jack. And then we still have 5 points of contact. So we've got the two jack legs in the back, we've got the two wheels and tires, and then we've got the front jack here. But what we've noticed was with the four jacks, even if you were on level ground, it was always kind of a fight. If you tighten this one up, you know, that corner might go up, and it was always kind of a chase. Now, you're not going to be chasing anything because we have this centralized jack here, and it is still the heavy duty 8,000 pound capacity, which this machine is not even anywhere close to that. You may not have noticed it, but you may have noticed it by now. This hydraulic oil tank is no longer aluminum. This has a little bit more capacity than the aluminum one, but the biggest reason for going back to a steel tank on the VS, VSC, HOs, and SHOs is production. We have basically welding those aluminum tanks takes a lot of time, and while there was some heat dissipation benefit from having the aluminum tanks, now we go to this hydraulic oil tank that has a little bit more capacity. We are getting it powder coated this silver that has kind of a glitter flake in it. Looks real sharp on here. But also what we did was we made this tank the same between the VS, the VSC, the HO, and the SHO, where we used to have to stock 3 different tanks. Now we just stock one, and we have the fittings already in place to basically make this usable on any of those other machines that I mentioned. Back on the front side of the VS here, at the beginning of the year there was a price increase on the 17VS and the 17VSC, and at that time we opted to include the LED taillights as standard equipment now. On these vertical splitters, it's really nice to have the taillights as standard equipment because this does kind of cover up the back end of the truck or the vehicle that is pulling it. The first 17VSs just had a straight fence back here. In fact, I can show you right over here. This is how the original fence was. And you can see now, Kevin, our engineer here, has made this thicker and also made this with a deflection angle on the top there. We didn't see it very often, but we did see from time to time where a piece of wood would get stuck on that flat surface and it would have the potential to bend that fence back. Now with this deflection angle here, basically if a piece of wood, if you're not paying attention and a knot is here, it'll push back and forward. And we also now have the slotted holes here for carriage bolts for that kick-out plate that sits in the top. And I'm gonna go find one of those quick to throw on here to show you what the finished version looks like. But one of the other big things we did for the 17VS this year, and this doesn't apply to the VSC, but the VS has a wider table now. So you can see we come out over the fender. So if you wanna put a conveyor hopper right next to that, you're pushing the wood off into the hopper and you're not hitting that fender. The original VSs kind of ended probably like right about here, and you could get the hopper in there, but you had to kind of jack the conveyor up pretty high and try to nest it in here. Now that's not an issue with this. And in fact, at the Hoosier Hysteria, we ran a conveyor backwards. The hopper was here and it came up next to me while I was running the 17 VS down there. Well, I just went outside and I grabbed one of those kick-out plates, and I'm gonna do my best to install this one-handed. And that worked. And I'm at the factory too late, the lights just went out. All right, I got the lights back on. I guess that was good timing. So here's what that kick-out plate looks like. Should call it an anti-kick-out plate, because basically when you've got curved wood, this really helps. And it doesn't look like much, it's just circles cut out of it. This was Chris's idea. We actually tried one that had teeth on it, and this design worked better than the teeth. So basically, if you're trying to split and a piece of wood has a crook or a bend in it, it'll want to try to go sideways, forward, back, and it'll get caught in one of these circles. Now I ran this without using it bolted to the machine. But you can see here, you can bolt it to the back of the machine. And then if you really wanted to, you could pop a couple holes here through the table. It will not be that easy because the table is relatively thick, but to bolt it in longer term, you can do that. And this just lifts out. Now there's two different designs of this we make. So we make it for the current fence, like this machine, and we also make it for the older style fence. This is not on the website yet, it will be very soon. And if you do want one of these, you can just give us a call or send us an email. Ben will get you all set up with that. That's all the updates that we have on the 17 VS. Let's talk about some of the horizontal splitters now. Earlier this year, we brought out the 28 Pro X as a 10th anniversary commemorative machine, and it's gone over really well with you guys. One of the coolest things we did with the 28 Pro X was we made the beam ambidextrous. So this log lift can get swapped over to that side. That cradle now unbolts, and the cradle has multiple positions as well. So if a customer's wood yard was such that they needed to have that log lift switched around, they could do that pretty easily. We'll show that swap in a video coming up here, but when these ship from the factory, they always ship on this side. The log lift will always be installed on this side. It's just easier to keep it streamlined for our assembly guys and for shipping and everything else. But if you want to change it, like I said, it takes about 15 minutes to change it. Now, that went over very well with the 28 Pro X. So what we did was we brought it to a bunch of the other machines as well. In fact, every one of our horizontal splitters, except the box wedge beam, now has the ambidextrous beam. So you'll be able to swap that log lift with that cradle if you desire. And I'll give you an example. Here is a SHO, 35-ton SHO. So again, we've got the ambidextrous beam, the bigger cradle here, adjustable, that goes flat. You can take it off completely if you wanted to, and you can flip the log lift over to that side. Again, this is not a possibility on the box wedge beam, because that beam is completely different, but we were able to basically give that ambidextrous feature to all of our other horizontal splitters now. So the next event that we are participating in is the Firewood Frenzy at the Wolf Ridge factory here in Eau Claire, Wisconsin on June 21st. Now, hotels have started to fill up pretty good, so I recommend that you, if you're looking to come over here and stay the night or something like that on Friday or Saturday, to book your reservation now. The Holiday Inn Express, as of the time of this video, still had rooms available, and it's only about a 5-6 minute drive here from the factory. So during the Firewood Frenzy, we will have a bunch of stuff from Wolf Ridge. We'll have new products from Wolf Ridge. We will have Fieldwood products. We've got some other stuff that we're not announcing yet, but we'll have announcements coming next week for that stuff. And we have our big disc cleaner in the backyard now, the second one, and it works phenomenal. So if you want to see that thing, make sure you come to the Firewood Frenzy Saturday, June 21st. August seems like it's a ways out yet, but in August we have the New York State Woodsman Field Days in Boonville, New York. If you would like to pick up your new Wolf Ridge splitter from the show, save a little bit of freight, make sure you give Ben a call in sales here. We have 6 slots left as of today for that show. And what we do at those shows is basically we'll run a little bit of wood through your machine for some demonstration stuff, but you'll be able to pick it up from there. You'll be able to test run it before you hook it to your truck and take it home from the show. If you'd like more information on any of the Wolf Ridge products, including pricing, tech specs, dealer locator, event schedule, and more, please check out our website, www.wolfridgemfg.com. You can also give us a call or send us an email. I want to thank you guys for watching. As always, thank you for the support. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on what's next at Wolf Ridge.